Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I am your host Sandman. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Lockmaster jackknife pick set. Let's get into it. This bad boy retails for 39 euros without the shipping cost, and it is going to be roughly estimated about $42 USD prior to shipping. The new Lockmaster pocket knife pick set comes in a handy design with a unique locking mechanism that does not require screws. It includes 7 picks, an extractor, 2 tension tools, and is available in black or blue. This is an easy review for me. This is a really good product. This is a quality product. I really like it. It's currently in my top 3. And let's talk about all the reasons why. So right now in my top 1, just completely subjectively, I really like the slim pickings. I like that the Riv pick is an individual lock pick that you can pull out of that and just use an actual 6, I think it's like, what is it, 6 ounces? No, 6 grams of a lock pick. And then I think the Swick is my second. I like all the tools in that. I still haven't reviewed that, so I won't go into detail. This is easily third. So this is subjective. This is just what Sandman likes, 1, 2, 3, and it could be that you like, 3, 2, and 1. It could be that you like one of these more than the other. So that is, that's that. I've reviewed previously the Multipick jackknife. The Multipick jackknife is very similar to the Lockmaster. They both come from Germany. They are both very high quality. Multipick makes a wonderful jackknife tool. However, there's one very small, tiny drawback, and that one drawback is that the Lockmaster has a top of keyway turning tool and a bottom of keyway turning tool. That is clutch, my friends. If you are wanting to single pin pick your way through pin tumbler locks, we are really desiring some top of keyway turning tools. That's why Multipick will fall in my 4th place position. In my 5th place, I have the Pocket Pick by Martin Newton. I think it's great. I don't know how well this thing is going to hold up durability wise, but it does come with 2 turning tools and it comes with 4 picks. I think it's a great option. And coming in 5th place is the Sparrows jackknife. So I have, oh, wait, did I just say 5th? It should be 6th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So coming in 6th place is the Sparrows jackknife tool. The Sparrows jackknife tool is nearly identical to the Lockmaster and nearly identical to the Multipick, except it only has 1 turning tool and it is twice the cost of everything else and twice as heavy. It is in fact almost 3 times as heavy as the Lockmaster. I am also a big fan of the big boy here, the Covert Companion. The Covert Companion really is a multi-tool, though. I don't really want to consider this a part of the jackknife family because I can separate the Riv pick from this, and this is, I'm never going to hold the Covert Companion in my hand. I'm always going to just, be like, well, and then here are the tools. So that's why I can't really say that this is the jackknife. So I like the Riv pick, but that's the slim pickings option. Regardless, this is an excellent tool. Top 3, tier 1, really great. Comes with a lanyard here. So there are 2 levels of retention. So we do have the pocket clip of all of these turning tools. This is the only one with the pocket clip. I think it's very possible that with the Sparrows, you can put a pocket clip here on these 2 screws. They don't advertise it as such at all. Nothing in the marketing, nothing in the YouTube channel. I don't understand why they don't capitalize on that. I know for a fact that there are so many modifications you can do with Key Smart handles. You can put a flashlight on these. You can do a laser pointer. You can do a pocket knife. And of course, you can do a pocket clip. I just haven't gone that direction yet. So it does have 2 levels of retention. It does come with a turning tool here. So you can put in different blades. So there is this guy. This is like a harpoon style broken key extractor. So I can remove these and put this in there. And I hope in the future they will come out with more profiles. I love the profiles that they went with. We'll talk about that here in a second. And I think that's it. That's in here. It has a little plastic piece. I just think that, I don't know what that was. But other than that, this is what you get. Let's talk about the profile. So we have an S rake or a snake rake, and this is a very old design. We've seen these on HPC profile picks, HPC picks since probably like the mid 1950s. And we have a Bogota rake, which is wonderful because I feel like some of these tools, when they are not including some type of high level rake like a Bogota, I feel like they're kind of missing the bus. Multipick I don't think Multipick has a true Bogota design. I think they have more traditional designs, and I think that's where they fall short. The Bogota being a profile that was invented by a gentleman that goes by the name of Raimundo online, and he invented this profile while vacationing in Bogota, Colombia in 1981, and then it became one of the most popular rakes in the early 2000s. So around 2010, 2011, 2012 time frame, that's when I started seeing that. We have the city rake, also known as an L rake. I think these have been around for at least 50 years as well. People say that, I've gotten in arguments with people, they say, Sandman, that's a rocker pick. No, it's a rake that you can rock with. And someone said, well, how do you know it's not a rocker? Well, because it's not called a rocker, it's called a rake. We have jigglers, we have rockers, we have rakes, we have tryout keys, we have bump keys. This is just a rake. It's a great option. People like to say, oh, the city rake doesn't work very well. Well, you don't understand that this is really for a small pin type format, small pin format. So we're talking Master Lock, we're talking American Lock Company, we're talking Pack Lock. So this is where that shines. Same thing with the S rake. If I was working on residential commercial, I'd be working with this Bogota right here. I really like the profiles here. Instead of a DeForest half diamond, I would have loved to see a flat hook, but I think they're going to come out with more profiles in the future. That's what I think, because this is a really great product. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't come out with an expansion. So we have a low rounded short hook, we have a medium rounded hook, and we have a tall or a high, let's just call it a rounded hook. And we have a DeForest half diamond. Those DeForest half diamonds were designed by Bill DeForest in the late 70s, and he sold the idea to Raitan, and Raitan made the DeForest half diamond famous, and people love the DeForest half diamond, especially locksmiths, people that are second, third generation locksmiths. I do believe that Sasha Wendt, the gentleman that owns the Wendt company now, I believe he is a second generation lockpick manufacturer and locksmith. He may be third. I know that this guy's been around for a while, and so I love seeing the traditional profiles, but I love that he's very active in the locksport community. So because he's active, he's going to throw in a Bogota here. He's going to have the 3 different sizes here for the profiles of the rounded hooks. I think that's awesome. I mean, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. When I reviewed the Multipick, I think this is a very solid tool coming from Germany as well. Though it comes with extra profiles to swap in and out, I just didn't fall in love with the profiles as much. So, and it was really hard to justify putting short hooks on this guy when I have a turning tool, a single turning tool that's really only going to be good for bottom of keyway tensioning. So I really need to make this tool, rake heavy. I'm going to have to rely on raking, because single pin picking while putting bottom of the keyway tension is not going to always work for me, 100% of the time. But Lockmaster understood that problem, and they put in this top of keyway turning tool here, and they put in a bottom of keyway turning tool. And that's really what you need in every single set. That top of keyway is going to come in at 38 thou. So that's perfect. Perfect. The Slim Pickens comes with a 40 thou, and then a 30 thou for the bottom of keyway. I think that's great for bottom of keyway. So I think that's super smart. Let's take a look at that in millimeters, because I don't know the conversion off my head, and I have a lot of international fans here. So we have 0.96 millimeter for top of keyway, and we have 0.79 millimeter for bottom of keyway. Another thing, my mouth is going dry here. Please excuse me while I take a swig of my water. Another thing that I really like is a lot of these companies, like Multipick went with a 400 series stainless steel here, most likely, probably a 420 series stainless steel. And the Swick, where is that guy at? The Swick went with a 301 high yield stainless steel. And I don't know what the Pocket Pick is, and I don't know what the Slim Pickens is. And I honestly don't know what Sparrows is. So, but this, of all of them, is set itself completely apart from the pack, because I went with a 1095 high carbon. So if we look at my pick steels, we know that we have titanium grade 5. Titanium tools are non-magnetic and they're non-corrosive. Those are really great, but you do have the downside of them being only 160,000 pounds of square inch of ultimate tensile strength. So they are the weakest tools. So I would use them for rakes mostly. Then we have 301 full hard at 185. Now 185 is more than fine for single pin picking and raking. This is the bare minimum entry into building lockpicks, in my humble opinion. Then we have 1095 high carbon, then we have 420 stainless steel, and then we have 301 high yield, 280,000 pounds per square inch. And that's huge. That's nearly 100,000 pounds per square inch above the 301 full hard. But 1095 is this weird gray area. I've always kept this piece of paper the way it is because that's 1095 high carbon just depends on the manufacturing process. And when I was doing the product testing of this, tool, I love how rigid and stiff this is. I do not feel like these are going to bend on me or break on me. Some of these tools feel like they're going to do that. And I like the 1095 high carbon on these. And I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if they're going to give up, the thin, like, are these going to be too thick because they're 1095 high carbon? And that's sometimes the downside of using 1095. It's nice and strong. But no, it really comes in at a very similar thickness to everything else. So 23 thousandths of an inch. 23 hundredths of an inch. I'm an idiot. So 0.023 is what we're coming in at. And that's perfect because I really think that's pretty much what we're getting with everything else. So let's see here. If we are looking at the sparrows, that's in 23 thousandths. And if we are looking at the slim pickings here, I guarantee the slim pickings is nearly identical to that. Slim pickings comes in at 24.5 thou on that rake. I wonder if that's the same across. Because I think these are advertised as like 25, so 24.5 thou. And then let's take a look at the Swick. Comes in at 18.5. Huh. Nope. Make sure I'm zeroed out. Yep. 18.5. So these comes at 19 thou. And then we have the pocket pick. Well, you guys get it. You're not giving up much. So somewhere between 19 and 24.5 thou, we'll call it 25 on the high end. 23, that seems to be a nice sweet spot for these jackknife tools. And so being that it is that 1095 high carbon, you're not giving up anything on these. They're not too thick. The downside, before we get into the downside, let's talk about the weight. So the Sparrow's Escort is the heaviest here, and then we have the Swick, and then we have the Slim Pickens, then we have the Went Lockmaster, then we have the Multipick, then the Pocket Pick, and we're still waiting for Mad Bobs. So the Went Lockmaster is actually the fourth lightest of the six that I have. So it comes in at about 32 grams, which is really light. It is nearly a third of the weight of the Sparrow's Escort, and it is less than the Swick. The Swick is a pretty beefy boy, and it is about 8 grams less than the Slim Pickens, though the Slim Pickens is actually 6 grams in your hand while you pick. And then let's take a look at the price. So the Sparrow's Escort being number 1 in price, then the Swick, then the Pocket Pick, then the Slim Pickens, then the Multi-Pick, then the Went. This is the cheapest, or I should say most affordable jackknife pocket tool that you're going to buy on the market, at least of the ones that I'm reviewing. There are going to be cheaper ones. I probably am not going to buy any more. I like to buy high quality tools. I'm not going to just buy jackknives because I can get them for $20 on freaking Amazon. It's not going to happen. Mad Bob, still waiting for news on that guy. So this is a really good price. The weight on it is excellent. The price is excellent. Let's see here. Do I have anything else? Practicality. So the Went Lockmaster was in second place for the most amount of tools of all the 6, but then the Slim Pickens actually moved up a bunch because I forgot that those tools are double-ended. So we do have a total of 9 tools inside the Went Lockmaster, and that puts it in third place, just behind Slim Pickens, which has 12 tools, and the Swick, which has 20 tools. So this is why it's in my third place position. I prefer the Slim Pickens, I prefer the Swick, and I think the Swick is appropriate in weight. Slim Pickens is appropriate weight. Then there's the Went right there. And then, like everything tells me that the Went is in my top 3 every single time. If there was no such thing as the Swick, if there was no such thing as the Slim Pickens, the Went Lockmaster would be my absolute number 1 tool. It would just be the best that there is. I don't think that this tool needs any improvements. There's absolutely nothing I would improve on this tool. I would love for them to come out with an expansion tool set. I would love to see them come out with 5 more profiles, or maybe even 10 more profiles that you can purchase separately or in a larger, more comprehensive set. They could totally add that to the case here without having to change up the case, I think. So other than that, I think this is a great tool. It's my top 3. I love it. It's not going to be my everyday carry, but I think it's going to be somebody's everyday carry, and I absolutely 100% could use this in a emergency situation, a SHIT, the stuff hits the fan situation, and that's it. This is a great tool. I like that this has like this polymer design. It doesn't feel like a plastic. I think it's a polymer type design. Feels similar to like a Glock or something like that. And I like this. I like the weight of it. I like the feel of it. I like that it's nice and light while I'm picking locks. Here is the one downside. The one downside is this. It needs more of a cutaway here on the thumb to be able to access the picks. As I'm working with multi-tool, let me go ahead and just remove this tension wrench here. This multi-tool here, I can easily take my thumb and pull out at least a couple, if not all, of these picks here. And it has a nice little rare earth magnet in there that keeps those in check. I cannot, for the life of me, get these picks out. I can't. It's impossible for me. I keep my thumbnails pretty short. I train martial arts, jiu-jitsu. I don't want to be clawing people in the eyes. Also, I'm kind of a hand model at this point. Just kidding. The only way I can get these tools out is I have to take a turning tool out, stick it in here, and have to wedge it in there and then pull these out. Not a deal breaker for me at all. This is a great tool. It's a wonderful tool. I would like to see either this set up higher or this cut down lower. I'd like to see a small gap in here that I can dig my thumbnail in to pull these guys out. As it sits right now, I cannot get to it. I'm just losing thumbnail on this on the metal there. I mean, these guys are really in there. So that's it. You do have to have some type of tool to kind of flick these out. Not a deal breaker. You're not gonna be able to pick a lock without these anyways. So you're gonna need these to pick a lock. So maybe that's really not that big of a deal. Again, not a deal breaker. I like how these fold up. So you just take the top of the keyway turning tool. You're gonna put it right here, and it just rests right here on top of those picks. And you're gonna take the bottom keyway turning tool, and it secures both of them in place. And these aren't going anywhere. I have to use my nails to pull these out, but they're not going anywhere. I pull up and out, and then the other turning tool just drops out. That's all I really have for today. I like everything about this thing. It just had that one little drawback there, but it's not a deal breaker. You can just use the tool there, and that's it. I love how stiff these are. I love the profiles. Really like these profiles. Very happy with these profiles. I think these are better profiles than anything else on here except for my other top 2. So this is easily 3rd place, and this is the most affordable one. If you are, however, living in the United States, you are going to be able to get, even though this is cheaper than the Slim Pickens, by the time you pay shipping and taxes, Slim Pickens comes out to be about the same price. However, I would rather purchase this than the Swick. The Swick was $100, and I purchased the expansion tools, everything all said and done, $150. I'd rather have this all day long over the Swick. But now I have both. If I was going camping, if I'm going to, let's say, out of the country, I'm going to Mexico, I'm going traveling someplace, I'm probably still going to take the Slim Pickens and the Swick. I'm probably not going to pack this. I think this is great, but it's my number 3. Again, this is an amazing tool. Grade A, tier 1, all the way. Great tool. Love it. I have nothing else good to say about this thing. I think I killed it. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this should be number 1? Do you think this should be number 2? Do you think that this has merit to maybe be better than the Swick or the Slim Pickens? I think this is a fair review, at least compared to what I have here that's represented on the market. Absolutely, hands down, super better than this the Sparrow's Escort. And I love Multipick, guys. I even have a discount code with Multipick. I'm not going to put on here for Lockmaster because that'd be rude, but I love everything that Multipick has. But man, the Lockmaster, they really got their shit together on this. They did a really good job. I love this thing. This thing is great. Love it. Great. So let me know, though. Let me know if I was fair in this review. And if you have this, what are your thoughts on it? Just, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That's all I have for today. My friends, I'm not rich, I'm irresponsible, and I'll catch you guys next time.